Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. It is Sunday, August 8th. Oh, Jesus. Fuck, I'm sorry. My computer started. I might have to drop out and come back. How do I stop? Hang on, wait, hang on. Hang on. Okay, hopefully this stops it. My computer was doing an update and I thought I stopped it and then it said it might restart. So, so it is August 8th, 2021, the Lionsgate portal. The lion representing Leo, all of the planets. Let's see, what is it? Sirius lining up with all of that stuff. I don't know. Some of y'all probably know all that stuff better, but it is what I do know. What I do know is it is a magical time for manifesting for a few weeks before and a few weeks after. I know that the portal is open through the 12th, and then all of these things kind of go out through, or you'll start seeing the expansions of them, blah, blah, blah. Someone called it boomeranging out for the next 5 to 6 weeks. I've heard that you can keep the manifestations for the next, that they're still pretty strong period for the few weeks before and a few weeks after. I like the idea of through the 12th and then boomeranging. Who knows the truth of it anyway. Somebody says they know, and so they know, right? Let's see. It's also supposed to be quite auspicious because it's a new moon in Leo currently. So that's supposed to really amplify your things. Again, you can manifest whenever you want. Why not have a little fun with it, right? Remember always, as if you have already received it. Hello, hello. What else is going to say? Oh, I meant to say this a while ago. I don't usually give a lot of predictions, but I did get something on Britney Spears 3 weeks ago, maybe, that I felt like her conservatorship will be significantly altered in 6 months. Meaning her father will no longer be in it. And the only part of it would be a third party really helping her manage her money, not her personal life. When I read her energy, sometimes when I watch her videos and I've watched her Instagram, she seems a little quirky, but what creative performer-y person isn't? But when I read her stuff and feel her energy of that, she feels pretty clear-headed and sure of herself. So my sense is that they're going to drop that. And I actually think there's going to be big-time repercussions, especially for her father. And the judge that's been overseeing the case. And I don't know if it was money exchange somewhere, but there's something weird behind that, because if you know anything about the mental health area of trying to get conservatorship, it's next to impossible to get somebody in a conservatorship. It's very difficult, let alone somebody who is young and making millions and millions of dollars. It's really hard to even get somebody on a 5150 hold, which is, a medical health evaluation where they're required. And most states have them. It may be called 5150 in other states and not in some, but it's some sort of, it's a 72-hour business day hold. So if you get admitted as an inpatient on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday don't count. It's a 72-hour business day hold for medical evaluation, for mental health evaluation. And in most states, you have to be a threat to yourself or a threat to others. So it can't just be Aunt Sally's acting wacky, so we really want her to get evaluated. They have to threaten themselves, their own life or another person's lives. And even to get that done is pretty hard because we don't really have a system set up to actually help people who are mentally ill. It sucks. It sucks. Because even when sometimes somebody does threaten, the people that should be bringing them to the hospital and it's clear the person's mentally ill, and the people that should be bringing them to the hospital aren't doing their jobs. So they don't want to deal with the paperwork or the whatever. I don't know exactly. Anyway, that's that. So I think she'll be in 6 months' time. The conservatorship, as far as the only thing I think will be is that someone helping her with the money. But I mean, she makes so much money. I think it's to make sure that there's not embezzlement and other things from other people that are helping her, really, more than anything, than it is about her controlling her own money. The other thing I think is going to happen is I do think she'll be performing again and or recording music again by 2023. It's going to be quick. Like, I don't feel like it's going to be, I actually feel like she's already got stuff going on in her mind, like creating already. Maybe I keep seeing like pages of notes and little notes here and there, but it feels like I'm keeping it to myself and I'm not telling anybody because who can she trust right now in her circle, right? So that's what I say. All right. I will look at who donated. I hope everybody's well. Things are fairly decent here. Kay, I got yours for 2. Okie dokie, artichokes. So my final of this round of psychic development circles, the 6-week session, will be this coming Tuesday. And then I'm going to take a break until after Labor Day so I can get my kids ready for school and all of that stuff and sort of figure out what that schedule looks like. But I think we'll start them back up again in September. So keep a lookout on my website. If you are subscribed to my emails, you'll get updates about that. But I've gotten really nice feedback. People have really enjoyed them. I'll start posting some comments and stuff here and there about what their feedback is. So I'm really enjoying them. I'm really enjoying getting to help people and give them the opportunity to practice using their own intuition. Again, it's not really about, I want to go out and give messages and get paid for them. It's really about like, when you get the right away validation for what you're feeling or what you're seeing or hearing or smelling or tasting or whatever way it comes to you, when you're getting that immediate validation, it really helps you start to trust the connections that you're making with your own intuition. So then along your journey, you can trust the stuff that's coming in instead of going, is this my anxiety or am I crazy? And all of that good stuff that happens when we aren't fully connected in and understanding what our intuition is. All right. So Linda, your question is first. Maureen, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th on the list. So I will get to yours. I will probably have you type it again if I don't remember. Linda says, what is tripping me up on my path to self-love and how can I best work through that? It's funny. I felt that as I read that, I felt that really tight in my solar plexus. And for me, my solar plexus represents how I relate to the world, how the world relates to me, and self-esteem. And I could also feel it come up from my sacral chakra as well, which is like your connection to money and, money is like root, but all of that stuff is your more earthly needs, desires being met. And that can be, your reproductive organs, your sexual connection, all of that stuff. So I'm not answering. That's not the answer. I'm just telling you what I felt. It was funny. No, I don't want to get into all that. Okay. I don't know why I just saw Luke Skywalker. So, I don't know what that meant, but I'm writing that down because that was really weird. And references to Star Wars and is R2-D2 the little white one, and then C-3PO is the gold one. I think I saw the little white one, R2-D2. So I do feel like it's connected to, belief systems that we get as a child. But when I'm like looking in, it's very interesting because I do feel like you do this work. Because when I'm looking in at you as a child, I see adult head of you, even though I don't know what you look like. It's the way they're showing me. It's almost like, so I don't know if you had this much chaos. So it's got this really creepy feeling in your household. When there's like those, like, they're more, and sorry to call your household creepy growing up, but sorry, when you watch, I don't like it reminds me more of not like a horror film, but like a suspense thriller film where they show it and everything looks really pretty. And like, I hear mom humming and singing in the background and it feels very like Stepford wifey, like everything's perfect and clean. And I'm playing on the floor with a doll and I can hear mom humming. But there's this element of like, something's really, really wrong. Does this make sense when I say that? Like when you watch those kind of movies where you're like it's too perfect, something's really, really wrong. So that's why I say creepy. It's not like Psycho or where it's like, oh, sorry. I don't know if there's a delay. So does this make sense where it's like everything looked nice on the outside, but there was this underlying of like holding my breath. Right. It's not anything overt, like hold it. Like, that's why I said it looks really, really nice on the outside. Everything looks perfect. And I said, but it's just this feeling of something's really, really wrong. So it's not the obvious, like mom screaming and yelling and hitting me because I hear her humming. I hear everything perfect. Okay. But I saw you, I was going to say abandonment, but it's weird because I can hear mom in the background, but I saw you playing by yourself. Like not getting the attention that you needed, not getting the connection that you needed. So this is the feeling I get around all of this. And then we'll go to like, how do we get rid of this, or how do we reprogram it? A, you're not alone. This does happen to a lot of people. B, it's the feeling of okay. But still, from the outside, it all looks perfect. Like it doesn't look like nobody's an alcoholic, none of that stuff. So it's I even feel like I have to tell you though, the feeling I got with mom was that even when you were trying to express your emotions, she sort of dismissed them in a way because they were just kids' feelings and kids can't, like I feel like up until recently, like, so social media can be a dizzying downfall in many, many ways. And it's just this like cesspool of yuck in many ways. However, it's bringing light to a lot of, I feel like, and maybe it's because of the people I follow and the algorithm I found myself in, where there's a lot of opportunities because there's to heal and to learn and to understand things, because there's a lot of therapists out there that are like sort of talking about different issues and things that come up in families. And so you recognize that you're not alone. But there is like a lot of generational stuff that's sort of starting to get healed now with younger generations. So I don't feel like, again, it's not like I'm telling you you're a terrible person, but like emotions were not really felt. Emotions were not really honored or important. It was just it's not that big of a deal. Get over it sort of feeling is the way I get. Like that it was, you were sort of dismissed when you were trying things. So then it was like trying to navigate all of that on your own. Yes. So here's what we have to understand today, and then you sort of have to reprogram it. And I think you understand this already, but it's emotions are like intuition. They are not logical. right? By definition, intuition is having knowledge of something with no logical explanation of how you have that knowledge. Emotions are just that. They're not logical. They are just emotions. They're full of motion and they need to move. When you stuff them and you don't feel them and they get bottled up like seltzer water when you shake it, right? It has to move or it will explode. And it will come out in ways that are unhealthy and dysfunctional. So we know that we need to honor them. And any emotion that you had when you were a kid should not be dismissed, belittled, or like, oh, well, I could have had it so much worse. Don't do that. Don't do that. You are allowed to feel whatever you felt and honor where you were as a kid. The other thing is then truly knowing, because what that can set in is the idea of I'm not valuable, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, because they didn't have, if I was more special, then my family would have spent more time with me. Like that's the thing that gets stuck in your brain when you're little. Not that anybody said you're not special, but if you were more special, right, as a little kid, because little kids are not logical, by the way. Logic sort of like, they're all emotion when they're little. And everything is literal. So all they know is I see mom not showing me attention, so it must be me that's the problem, not her, because my mom is perfect and I love my mom and she's the most wonderful thing in the world. We don't recognize their problems. We see them as like the guiding light of where we're supposed to be. Sorry, there's like this like schmutzy on my screen and it's driving me nuts. So I still need to get those things done. I thought when I was, I would have more time this week to get them done, and it didn't. Time got away from me. But it's listening to affirmations and reprogramming, or sitting for 10 minutes a day, which I'm going to start doing myself. I'm going to just have decided I'm going to do a little 10-minute a day meditation thing. I can find 10 minutes in my day for myself if my kids can like either meditate with me or whatever. But, of reprogramming and focusing on the things that you are. You are beautiful. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are enough. You are more than enough. Your feelings are valuable. Your feelings are valuable. Your feelings deserve to be honored. You deserve all of the wonderful things in the world that you desire. So it's really about just sitting and honoring all that. But it feels like that's the stuff, and it's not. And then you just say, I am love. I am lovable. I create that love within me. I am beautiful and amazing just as I am. I am perfect just as I am. The idea of perfection is really kind of funny because perfection isn't really static. It's like a momentary thing and then you lose it. So this idea of chasing it and being perfect all the time is so super strange. To me, because nothing is ever really, really perfect, but it's enough. It's enough. I mean, it's momentary, but it's not always. But things can be enough, and you are enough. And they're talking to me about forgiving yourself for maybe embracing those belief systems for long. Forgiving yourself for ever even entertaining that you weren't enough. Forgive yourself for having a little bit harder time through the process of reprogramming. I feel like you are rather hard on yourself, but I think it's really awesome how self-aware you are, and like that you're like, that speaks volumes, that you're like, all right, let me drudge out and clean out where I'm still not quite there yet. Truthfully, the thing that got me to full self-love, like respect, and it's not a like I'm there and I'm done. It's a I'm there. I know I can be there. And so when I drop back down to like maybe not respecting myself enough or not having enough confidence, focusing back in and realigning. Hello, just being me. So it's not it's really just knowing that love come and being valuable and being validated, and acceptance the only person who ever needs to do that for you is yourself at the end of the day. And then you get to this point where you go, they don't they don't accept me. Okay. Like, whatever. Cause you'll find your tribe, or you find your groove, and if you accept yourself and you love yourself, then it changes from the idea of oh, I have to be alone because I don't have any plans, to oh, I get to spend time with myself. That's pretty awesome. I don't know if that makes any sense. Is that a satisfying answer for you? I feel like they could let me ramble on this one for a long time, because again, it's not like there's this one little thing. It's just making that shift, but it's you're almost there. And then understanding that it's a process. So it's peeling away the layers of onion. It's not, I think that's why I don't like the idea of healing. I'm healed, I'm broken, I'm healed, because you're not broken. You just got crappy programming, and you're going to update, and you can keep updating. Maybe that's just my point of view of it. Oh, and here's another one I have, because I like this one. To look at your body differently, right? So your body is made up of billions and trillions, probably trillions of cells. And they all have something in them called the string. This is the quantum physics string theory. It's the smallest part of the cell, and it responds to positive and negative energy. So if you imagine them as all being little bits and pieces, hi, Patricia, little, beings that are a part of the Linda world, and your thinking part of you, your soul, your mind, the consciousness, is the news broadcaster. What are you broadcasting out to your body and all those little cells? This is how you start to learn to love yourself differently too. So broadcast out, you're doing a great job. I'm so proud of all of you. If they're all individual cells and you can focus on one, be all right, fat cells or whatever, you've done a great job protecting me, because you know how oftentimes they say when people gain weight because it's a way of emotionally protecting yourself. And they say a lot of earth angels are heavier set. So you've done a great job protecting me. And now you can shift over to helping provide energy or whatever, burn off fat to provide energy. It is what it is. So instead of looking and be oh, I have an extra wrinkle, or I have this bump or whatever, just be proud of all of it, because your whole body, every one of those little cells, I'm still dying and remaking cells, all of that stuff. All of those cells have helped you move through your entire life human experience until this point. And you haven't died yet. So that's pretty damn good. And so start talking nice and saying kind things. Think about plants. Plants respond. Think about, look at what goes on with the news and how easily it is for people to spread false information through fear and negativity. So why not move your energy and your body's energy into the positive? You start to when you start putting that out to you, that much love and acceptance and celebration and encouragement to your every little cell, on a cellular level, that shifts how you love yourself too. Hi, Patricia. It does spill over into your romantic relationships. And the reason why it does is because what you think here, what you create here, the I am not valuable, I am not worthy, all of those things, right? What we are valuable, worthy, and all of those things. But what you create here in this script writing area of your brain has to show up in the play out here. It doesn't mean you're I want terrible things, but it's your subconscious that has that belief system. So it has to show up in your script out here. So if you don't think you're valuable, all these people are going to come play the parts to show you that you are not valuable. So even if you get that person, And again, it doesn't mean that somebody can't love you just as you are right now in the state you are, but we're talking quality now, right? So we know you can be loved and fall in love no matter what. Look around you and look at all the different people that are in relationships, and all different kinds of people, and they're in love. But do you want a healthy relationship or a dysfunctional relationship? So get healthy with yourself in here versus, like I am valuable, I am worthy, I respect myself, I create respect within me. I love myself, I create love within me, all of those things. And that then whoever you show up with they're not bearing the burden of having to somehow be those things that if you don't even believe it about yourself, they're supposed to be reflecting all of that to you. Then they're just like, get to enjoy the journey that you're on with you, right? They're just extra. I don't know. Think about it. Like if you know anybody who, they are constantly negative on themselves, oh, I don't feel good about myself. And you're always trying to pump them up and be like, no, you're really great. You're really wonderful. But it doesn't matter what you say to them unless they believe it on the inside. It's not going to change no matter how much you hear it. So it's like, if you don't believe it on the inside that no matter how much somebody actually loves you, it's not going to fill you up. You got to just do it from inside first to feel fulfilled. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, Miss Devry, you have 2 questions. I'll check for you, Patricia. All right. All right, I've got you down for 1, Patricia. Been having health issues lately, so I was given antibiotics, but it doesn't seem to be going away. So I want to know if it's something serious or is it just, it's neither. It's actually the antibiotic and you just need it's a second, a different antibiotic. So are you on like day 7 of it right now? Of the antibiotic? So sometimes what happens, it's not that it's like a super bug, it's just that I'm trying to think of the one that my kid. So like sometimes the standard would go to for I can't even think now of any of this, like the pink antibiotic. I can't even think of it. I don't know why. Like the standard one might be penicillin for strep throat, right? Germs of penicillin. But some kids, for whatever reason, penicillin never touches their strep throat. And it's not that they have a super bug, it just never touches it. So they give them erythromycin or azithromycin or something else. It just is what it is. Or clindamycin so it just is what it is. Like it's just, you just might need a different antibiotic. What day were you on when you stopped it? Oh, this is the nurse in me that's going to be like, don't do that. That's why we create superbugs, is when people decide to just stop taking something and it wasn't. And I'm scolding you out of love, not out of like 5th day. Okay, so it should have been working by the 5th day because it takes up to 72 hours to start to see a difference. So what you need to do is call your doctor, say I was on day 5, it wasn't working, I need something else. And they'll give you, sometimes what they want to do is then hit it with like a topical and an oral, or like if you were on, like if you have an ear infection, they were like, eardrop should clear it up. And you're like, yeah, it's not working. And then they give you, they just probably need to give you a different antibiotic. So that's the feeling I get very, very strongly, is you probably do need a different antibiotic. So call the doctor. I don't feel like it's serious. I just feel like you need a different antibiotic. So call the doctor. Either way, just stopping the medication, if it's serious, it's not going to go away on its own. You need a different medication and or a combination of medications or a different way of going at it to get rid of it. But doing nothing is not going to serve you. So call the doctor back, say you want to get in to be seen again and to figure out a plan of care for yourself. And if you don't feel comfortable going to that doctor, go to another doctor. Tell them what they thought it was. Tell them bring the antibiotic you have that you were taking. Tell them what day you were on, that it wasn't healing it, and you wanted to go to somebody new because you didn't feel like you were getting treated well. But if you do trust that doctor and just feel like, I don't know, but don't ignore it, because that's when things get really bad and then like much, much harder to treat. So I'm not sure if I understand what the irregular versus serious. It just, but it isn't uncommon to have something like that come up, just so you know. Well, I find remote opportunity, been looking with no luck yet. Do you often think, it's just not going to happen for me? Like when you're looking, because it's just this feeling of like, I'm looking and it's just like this underlying knowing that it's just not going to happen for you. Because that's what I keep feeling. The way I actually feel what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get something, but it's not going to be fully remote. Like initially you're going to have to go in and get training or something like that, or you're going to go and then you're going to have to go in like either once a week or once every 2 weeks, like occasionally, that it's not going to be fully remote. It's menstrual. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what menstrual means. Did you mean to type that? I'm confused. They said it's menstrual? That your infection is menstrual? Go to a different doctor. Because I don't know all the details and maybe you don't feel like revealing them here, but my sense is just you need to go back to the doctor or a different doctor, tell them what you were told, tell them what your concern is. And I don't know that this is really psychic other than just me having been a nurse and saying like, go to the doctor, go find another doctor. There's so many doctors out there. This is what I used to tell my NICU patients when I would discharge them. Trust your intuition. If you feel like something's wrong and your doctor's not listening, go to another doctor. Go and start knocking on doors until somebody actually listens to you. There are way too many physicians in the world to ever feel like you're going to be ignored. You should be ignored. Okay. The thing that like piques my curiosity is if it's a menstrual thing and why are they writing you an antibiotic in the first place? So you need to go to somebody else. That's weird to me. Either they should have done, send out some lab work to see what the infection is. Or if they weren't sure, like the writing the antibiotics in the first place doesn't make sense to me. But I also think a lot of adult doctors write antibiotics when they shouldn't. My husband had years ago a viral pneumonia and his doctor just kept writing him antibiotics. I'm like, it's viral. It's not bacterial. And if he just give you a steroid to help you. And once I said, go tell him you need a steroid. And he gave him a steroid inhaler and he started getting better. It's just, he was having spasmodic cough. Whatever, what do I know? I was only a nurse. Anyway, point being, and not that I'm diagnosing, but it's just, that seems weird to me. That's fine. You don't have to say it here, but If they wrote you an antibiotic, they shouldn't be dismissing you. They should be trying to find out if it's not getting better. Maybe they need to change the antibiotic or do something different. So go back to the doctor and insist that you get seen, or insist that if somebody talks to you, that you talk to the doctor, not the nurse. You want to talk to the doctor. And it's okay to be a pain in the ass because they signed up to be doctors and nurses and take care of people. So you're not really being a pain in the ass. You're just making them do their job. Okay? Okay. And then with the job thing, does that make sense when I say to you, it feels like you sit there and go, it's never going to happen. Like as I'm looking through, it's like over and over because I'm not seeing anything. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Okay, stop doing that. So what you're going to say instead is circumstances don't matter. Circumstances don't matter. I don't care what it looks like in front of me right now. Circumstances don't matter. I'm working from home. I'm a remote worker. Own it as if you already are. And when you're looking, circumstances don't matter. The job's going to pop up. The job's going to pop up. I don't feel like it's that far out, but I also don't feel like you'll be full-time at home. I do feel like there's going to be a requirement for you to go in occasionally. Okay. And I'm not getting that far out. Like I'm feeling within the next like 6 weeks or so. It's not months and months and months. Okay. Starry Sky, Laura H, and Deborah S, you guys are up. Really and truly, circumstances don't matter. Circumstances don't matter. I'm also teaching my kids the manifesting thing. One of my daughters was playing Roblox and she really wanted these shoes. She's like, no one's ever going to trade with me. And I was like, stop that. Someone's going to trade for you and they're going to trade and you're going to have to do less than you thought to get those shoes. Like, cause she's always offering so much stuff. And I'm like, she'll offer like half her inventory for one thing. She's like, but I really want them. And I go, I get value and all of that. And like, you think those are so valuable. So you're willing to go all this way, but you don't have to. So, and she's like, and I only had to give away one thing. And I was like, yep. I think Enrique likes me. So I'm wondering, we'll end up being in a relationship. Do you have anxiety or does Enrique have an anxiety? Because I just felt like that can't, like holding my breath kind of thing. That feeling of when you get anxious and you're holding your breath or you can't breathe right or. So he does like you, but they're telling me, like, be careful about becoming needy and like clingy, kind of control-y kind of thing. So it just feels like don't, like when you start to date, don't start needing to know why he's not responding right away. Or like, it just feels like just chill, because it could really be like the only barrier to you being in a relationship with him is not that he would ask you on a date or any of that stuff. It's like your fear of abandonment and tend to worry a little bit more and like worry it's going to leave you and go away and like trying to control it all. And they're like, you need to get that under control. And a lot of that is this thought process. I'm safe. I am capable. I am chosen. Of course he likes me. He would never cheat on me. Instead of thinking like, oh, guys eventually cheat. All guys are creepy or all guys are creeps. Like there's things that I've heard. I've been paying really, like, because I've been doing all this mindset work, I've really been paying attention to things that I hear around me, thinking about things that were said around me as a child and not intentionally. Again, a lot of the stuff that we get as belief systems are totally like unintentionally programmed into us. And I'm like, oh, well, no wonder. Like I heard a woman say, oh, no guys are in touch with their emotions. And it was just very interesting. She's like, oh, no guys are really in touch with emotions. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Like, not only do you hold that, so then you're creating that in your life and seeing it constantly reflected back to you. Now you're sharing it with others and reinforcing that for other people too. Thank you. It's really, my friends are, I have a lot of friends that are still working as nurses. I'm not. So my feeling is that, yeah, it will, but it's like, it's sort of holding in the balance right now. Like, it just feels like it's not solid, like for sure I see it zooming. It feels like it's holding in the balance because it is truly dependent on what you do with it. And it's like, he likes you. So just own it and be like, yeah, of course he likes me. Why wouldn't he like me? I'm amazing. Right. Right. So that's where it will slip through your fingers if you're not careful, is the feeling I get. And so it's not to be like, oh my God, I'm the reason that it didn't work out. It's to be like, recognize, look, we all bring stuff to the table. One thing I love think it's fascinating is everybody has like opposite dysfunction that they walk into with in a relationship. But we all have our dysfunction. We all have our belief systems that are wonky and stuff. So it's not to be like, oh, there's something wrong with me. It's like, no, it's like everybody has this. But if you can become self-aware enough of what you bring to the table, you can shift at least on your end. And so then if even when you're in a relationship and you're healing stuff, it doesn't mean, again, that the other person is bad or whatever, but maybe you just don't match vibrationally anymore. Hi, Spiritual Seeker. It's nice to see you. Okay. Starry Sky, you're up. So it's not, this is one of those things where it's like, manifest it or don't manifest it. Like, I feel like it'll start for sure. I just don't know if it'll stick because it's solely dependent on then your mindset. And it could be even like, if it doesn't last, like, look at it as a learning lesson. Everything, you learn from everything. And sometimes we learn the most from where we don't get what we were hoping to get, because then you can go, what was I doing that was working against me or not working in my favor? Thank you, Spiritual Seeker. All right, Miss Starry Sky, what is your question? I got to have an amazing conversation with a friend of mine that I haven't seen in 15 years, and I have known her since the 4th grade this week. And it was so incredible and so wonderful to me to be able to spend time with this person, because like, it was like talking to somebody who's like done a lot of the work. So it was like fun, and it wasn't gossiping about people or anything like that. It was like just like talking on like bigger or more expansive levels. It was enjoyable. Had a cardio event, was in the hospital, was the universe telling me. Okay, so from a spiritual level, from when I do readings, your guys are funny because they're like, wake the fuck up, take care of yourself. That's literally what I heard. That's why I was laughing. Sorry, but I'm gonna like expand on that because sometimes I think they're hilarious. So I was sort of asking what it was, and I genuinely feel like it's related to one, being dehydrated, because I'm like, well, what's going on? So it's like then having like either a low blood pressure or having like an arrhythmia type event, because I don't feel like full on heart attack, but I feel like it scared the shit out of me kind of thing. And so it's sort of like, does this resonate? Actually, am I on that one? Okay, so here's how, when we look at heart, lungs, breast, how giving and receiving love, when it's not done on a balanced, healthy level, sometimes we can create, when we have that dis-ease in the heart chakra, we can create disease in our heart chakra area organs. Arrhythmia, okay. And blood pressure issues, okay. So, so probably in the next week you'll go for meet the cardiologist and do, guessing, a stress test. And maybe an echo. I feel like needing to drink more water, needing to cut caffeine out, watch your salt intake, and like eating processed foods and things like that. That's like all pretty standard, right? Because I felt the need for water, like feeling dehydrated, the need for water. Oh, okay. A heart monitor for a month in new meds. That's pretty standard too. So here's the other thing. If you have the arrhythmia again and you're wearing the heart monitor, yes, your doctor will get it. But if you feel like you need to go to the hospital, don't drive yourself. People do that all the time. And I don't get an ambulance. Why? Because if you're having an actual event, they can give you oxygen. They can give you aspirin. They can start an IV. They can provide a shock to your heart if you need it. If you're driving, you could get in a car accident and hurt somebody else. So, it feels like if you're drink any caffeine at all, it's time to be done with that. It's time to really recognize like how things affect you and stress affects you, and learn to set boundaries and say no. So it's like really like looking at the bigger picture of like, okay, besides food, besides meds, how am I contributing to that? And then also when I talk about love is like self-love, right? If I allow people to, if I have an idea and I don't respect what my own boundaries are, then it means people are allowed to treat me in a way that I don't want to be treated. And I'm allowing that. That creates more stress and lack of love. Hi, meh. That's fine, Rachan. You can pay. I think that you give love beautifully and you have zero issue giving love is the sense that I get, I should say, I feel. But receiving love and receiving help and receiving assistance is harder for you. I do feel like, and please do not get mad at me, weight is some of the issue. So then it goes into like where I talk about, start researching macros. You can just get an app and, you want to eat healthier, you eat healthier proteins, healthy fats, nice, good carbs, dense carbs. And that will help you. And drinking enough water, laying off the caffeine. And it just feels like I just keep feeling like things that feel more processed foods. It's weird. I keep getting the taste of either I don't want to say a donut, but like a fried kind of bread thing, like a hush puppy or a fritter or something like that. Love coffee. So switch to decaf. I find coffee extremely comforting. Sometimes you have to switch to decaf. And I'm glad you're safe and I'm glad you're well. I'm surprised they didn't have you follow up to do a stress test or something though. That's curious. Again, not a doctor. Don't know what I saw. I mean, I wasn't there. So Deborah S. and Maureen, I think you put your question in up there. And I too love coffee. I can marry coffee. Okay. My kids are like, you gonna marry coffee? Yep. Maureen says, my sister is currently ill. I'm wondering how you envision her progress with her illness. Maureen, would you mind giving me her first name? I would truly appreciate that. A third-party question. I wonder if my brother-in-law, Bob, has any messages for Deborah. Wait. I will do that. I will confirm the payment in just a minute. A different Deborah than the one typing Deborah? I think of third parties as like people meddling. Are you meddling? Or jobs, interferences. So which Deborah is asking? And Maureen, I need your sister's name, please. Different Deborah. Okay. Do you know enough about your brother-in-law in order to be able to? Rachel, I don't have yours yet, but I'll check back. I still got a couple people ahead of you. Oh, she doesn't do this stuff and wants to know. No, I just meant to say the term third party. That's what I think of it as. So, is she with you by chance? Is your sister-in-law with you, or your sister? And I only asked that because I was wondering if she could type a little something on there just so I can kind of feel into her energy. Sometimes it's a little bit easier. This is weird, and I'm not saying your brother-in-law is this way, but there might be a reason he's choosing this character to show me. Not sitting here. Okay. Did you ever see that? What's it called? It's not The Office, because that's the TV show, and that's not what I'm talking about. That movie. Crapolio. Hang on. Give me a second. Because Office Space, and I got to remember the character. Him. Hang on. Who is the guy with the staplers? Deborah, do you know who that I'm talking about? Do you know the movie Office Space? But he's showing me like that character of kind of being like this, like, so I don't know, A, if he really liked him and like would quote that character or funny, like, but he had this thing with the swing line stapler, like the whole. He was not quirky and didn't know the movie. This is why it's really hard to do a reading if you want a message for somebody else, because it might mean something to her. So it's really hard for me. Like, that's literally the first thing he showed me was this character from the movie Office Space. And it doesn't, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I doubt he was quirky, but there's something connected to this if he's going to show that to me right away. Like having it's a funny movie. It's really funny and kind of like goofy. Okay, I got it, Maureen. I'll write down Martha. Hold on. So it's really genuinely, it's hard to do a reading where you're asking me to do it for somebody else when you can't really validate some of the stuff that they're going to have come through for them. Did he pass us something from the chest? Because I feel like such a shock in my, like, it's like taking my breath away kind of feeling. So it could literally be the lungs, or it could be like they say that when you have a heart attack, you couldn't. That's why I'm like, it's something in the chest, but I feel like literally the center of my chest, I feel like my breath is taken away. Okay, so there, wait a second. Let me read your question again, because now I'm confused. You're saying you get the feeling of her being here. Hang on. Pancreatic cancer. So here, your pancreas is here, right behind this, but Did he have respiratory things at the end? Feeling like, why are you saying sorry? No apologies. I'm just telling you why it's harder. Do you know anything about how he was when he passed? It'd be easier if she was on here typing for this. I kind of do need her. And here's the other thing is like this feeling of being really private and like I wouldn't. Was he extremely private? Because it's like pancreatic cancer is just terrible. So let's be there. And then I also feel like I'm dizzy, confusion, everything else like there. I'm like literally gonna have to like close this one up, and not because it's too hard or anything else. I just feel like it's too hard given that the way it's trying to do it. So if you want to hold on to it and come back next week and make sure she's on here to answer it, that's fine. If you want to scrap it and just ask a question of your own, that's fine too. I feel extremely private is the feeling I get of like, I wouldn't really give this message to her directly because it's like, I should be giving it to my wife. Like it's that feeling of like being very insular about my relationship with my wife. Let's do that. Let's do it another time where you can be here. Where she can be here. I'd be more than happy to do that. It's hard to like where it's like he didn't triangulate it. He didn't try to pass information through a third party in order to get a message to her, get some kind of thing. It's like they dealt with each other very directly. I don't feel like he's a mean person at all. When you're like, he's friendly but quiet. But yeah, okay. Do you want to ask a question for yourself? And then Maureen, I'm going to look at your sister Martha, okay? While Deborah kind of formulates her own question. Oh, you don't feel like you've... Okay. Of course, I'm happy to always try. I just also like... here. Hi, Alyssa. First time here, liked and subbed. I would like to know. KK, are you here? So these are paid readings. $5 a question, 30% goes to charity. I always donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Although there's a new charity I'm going to look at. It's called Heifer. I'm going to look that up and start doing some research on that one. But I like the Community Food Bank of New Jersey because $1 provides 3 meals. So for every dollar. So when we, and I give around $30 a week, give or take a few dollars here or there. So I like to be helpful. Okay. Do you want to give her the link if Alyssa wants to pay for a reading? Okay. Oh, don't apologize. It's okay. I assumed you got busy with something, and that's totally okay. No worries. I appreciate you being here regardless, KK. So no worries. You got to do self-care. Laundry is part of self-care, right? I will check. Okay. Hang on. I'm looking. I wanted to look at Martha. Let's see, Martha. I just wanted to read the question again. I got it, Rashna. You're good. Sometimes I feel like my energy is really slow. Yes, Patricia, I got your payment. So it goes Deborah S., Maureen, Kay, Patricia, Karen, and Rachna. Okay. I just want to go back up and look at Maureen's question one more time. You said progress with her illness. Okay. All right. So, all right. Does Martha also have a lung thing? Because I just feel like I want to cough. But I also feel really bloated in my abdomen. Does this make sense at all? Maureen, are you here? Maureen, are you here? I just need a yes or no so I know that I'm connecting in with her. Does it make sense to have like a cough, have some sort of lung thing, but I also feel very, very bloated in my lower abdomen? I feel like a lot of health issues. I don't feel like it's a one thing because I feel like it's interesting. I feel like my arms are heavier. Like I don't feel really, really, really skinny. I feel opposite. I feel a little heavier set. Maureen, are you here? You guys have to be here for readings because if you're not, then I have to I'm just going to start giving your money back and maybe I'll just stop doing these. You have to be present for readings. So if you're not present for readings, I can't do them. That's it. So it's not like, let me leave it. So if you're not here, Maureen, I got to leave. Okay. So I'll try and come back to this. If you speak up, that'd be great. But if not, I'm going to just refund your money and not answer them because it's really hard to do a reading. Like when I get a general reading or when I give something like, first of all, I feel like it's kind of disrespectful. But second of all, it's because I get stuff and I need to know that I'm connecting in with the right energy because you're not sitting in front of me. I can't look at you. I don't have a picture. I'm pinging into your energy through literally typing on a computer. And if you ask anybody who's been in my circles, like the way I do it is very, very, it's difficult. It's not easy. And so I really need like a little bit of connecting in with your energy too, to validate that like, this is what I'm getting and this is who I'm connecting into and not something else. And I don't mean to get frustrated, but it is frustrating when like people just leave. I know this takes a long time. I appreciate that, but I'm also doing it for $5 a question rather than giving you your own full appointment. Okay. So Maureen, if you don't come back, I'm going to be giving you your money back. And maybe I have to make it where if you donate and you're not here, then we're just donating your money and you don't get your money back. I don't know how else to do this to make people understand they got to be present here. All right, Miss K, your first question. I've been told several readers that I'm moving next month around mid-September. Just curious where I'll be relocating to and why. Okay, can we just go to the stop going to several readers to ask about moving? You are a powerful being. Began in the lungs. Okay, thank you. Maureen, is she heavy set? Does she have the arms okay. Does she have the arms? I just feel like heavier. I literally felt heavier. Like my arms and hands are heavier. So that could, I want to say it could be like retaining water, but I don't. I literally feel like I'm overweight. Yes. Okay. there's a lot going on. So there's not just like where you're like, her illness is not just one thing. Cause I feel like I genuinely feel like there's a lot of medical stuff going, underlying medical factors. So it's the feeling of, I've got the lung stuff, but I feel like she leans toward, if she's not diabetic, she's borderline diabetic, because it just feels that way to me. And I also feel like there's like either IBS or obstructive bowel or something going on with the bowel, because I feel like it's not moving the way it should. It feels like I might have either an obstruction, and this sounds really gross and I'm sorry, but this is unfortunately the way I get stuff, the way like you understand it from nursing, is like literally leakage around the obstruction. And so having very loose stools, like it's that feeling of like needing to go. There's a lot going on. Does that make sense when I say all of that? Like there's a lot going on. And I also feel like not getting good circulation in my hands, because it feels either, I don't want to say neuropathy, but like my fingers feel cold. I think there's a major delay for you. I'm just typing to see if maybe that gets to you quicker. It's the feeling to me of getting like, I get one thing under control and then another thing goes, and literally it's like everything's sort of cascading. I don't think she's having a true, like what they call a cascading event where, but it just feels like it's, I don't know that. I don't feel her ever being in perfect health again, because there's so many comorbidities to with whatever this acute event is. So to me, it feels like, do her intestines bother her a lot? Because this is like such a terrible feeling, and I know it's not mine. It's like an energetic feeling. It's the worst. That is one problem with feeling stuff, because I'm like, oh, like it's not me, but I can, like, I know they're trying to tell me it's her, but it's like, okay, it is her intestines. They're not giving me a time frame. So I want to say that, like, one, I don't predict death. Sometimes I will get a time frame, and that's usually when they'll give it to me, because it's either to reassure you that there's so much more time, or I've gotten time frames for certain people. I don't get it for everybody. And I feel like that's not where you're at right now. So you don't want a time frame. Okay. My sense is, in this case, it's going to be sort of like the time that she has left. And I don't feel like it's like now, but the time that she has left, she is going to be struggling with lots of health issues. It's not going to be now where I'm like, can you believe I went through that? And look how healthy I am now for the last part. Like, it literally feels like health issue after health issue after health issue. And it feels never ending. And I feel she gets exhausted upon exertion. She's short breath with exertion. She's, she may have an unsteady gait, because they're showing me her like holding onto chairs as she's walking through her house. Like, I hold on to things as I move around. Okay, so she has time left, and you have time left to spend with her and love her, but it's not going to be an easy ride, is the feeling I get, that it's going to be just one thing after another, a lot of stuff. I do feel like when she goes, I feel like she'll be peaceful. Like it doesn't feel like it feels like I pass peacefully in my sleep kind of feeling. It's not, I feel like I'm comfortable. I'm not in a lot of pain. But I don't see that happening for, it's like, she's not going next week. But she has a lot of comorbidities. So when she gets sick, she gets sick. And some of this is not taking care of yourself through life and not really, but some of it is just, the way the dice was rolled kind of thing, just genetics and unfortunate circumstances. So that's what I see with her. Deborah asked, what was your one? You said you had a yes or no question, and I don't know if I missed it or. Okay, Kay, we're going to talk. Okay. I didn't forget you. Sometimes when I connect into certain energies, I just need to move through them and get them done. And Rachan, that was really, really sweet of you. They're not free. They're $5 a question. It's a cup of coffee. And 30% of that goes to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. All right. So, and then Deborah S. Did you have a yes or no question? Did you want to type it quick? So is your crisis worth a cup of coffee? That's the question. And the money that you donate from your one question alone will at least provide a little over 3 meals to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And that's pretty amazing. So a cup of coffee for you, 3 meals for somebody else, and an answer to your crisis question. Okay. Miss K, do I see you moving in September? Can I ask you something? When you go to these other readers, was it like, did it happen this way? One reader told you they thought you saw you moving in September, and then you started asking other people and they're like, yeah, instead of having it come up organically? Or did organically everybody tell you they saw you moving in September without you asking, like without you stating that question? And I'm asking that because then I can answer this. I don't see you moving in September, to be quite honest with you. Though it happened organically, like they all randomly said, like, we see you moving in September. The one thing I am seeing is this. I see wet carpet. So is there any way that like you either live on the first floor and might get a little bit of water in your apartment from a storm or your water heater leaking? Because that to me is, I keep seeing wet carpet. So, and it feels temporary move out, like a 2-week move out or whatever for them to clean up the apartment or do something like that. But I don't see, I keep seeing wet carpet, like, to me, the wet carpet can just be my symbol of like a little bit of a flooding or a little bit of water, and maybe you have water in the basement. And so you need to move out for a couple weeks for them to clean that up. But I don't feel like a permanent move. And I don't, Like it literally I don't feel like the move. I'm happy to be wrong if all those other people want to say that, but I don't feel it. I just keep getting this like a little bit of water in the apartment feeling. You don't have any carpet in your apartment at all? Is there a sump pump in your apartment? Is you're in the basement? It doesn't feel like, I'll tell you this, it feels like water from like, it feels like clean water. It doesn't feel like, it wouldn't be flood water. It feels like clean water. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't see you moving. Your roommate lives upstairs. Yeah, I just don't see you moving. So just it could be the sink on, or it could be the water heater leaks, or I mean, I don't know. It just feels like something, but I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about it and creating it in your life. It literally could be like, maybe what they're showing me is the water overflowing a little bit in the bathroom, and you get like the little bit of water in there. Maybe that's what they're showing me, but I don't see you moving out. So I'm asking them like, well, what does she need to know? Like what's, and they're like, she's very anxious. Like you're an anxious person. The feeling I get is like just being really like type A. It's not a bad thing. It's just the way you work. And they're not like, oh, she needs it. It's just like stop asking us for that question. Like, don't waste your money on that one anymore. Please stop wasting your money on that one. If you were moving in a month, you would know it. The only thing I keep seeing is the wet. They're showing me the wet carpet or whatever, and it feels like if I move out, it feels like a temporary thing. Like, oh, I'm leaving for a week to have the house fumigated or something like that they used to do. It just feels like, it doesn't feel like I'm moving out permanently. So with the wife around the corner thing, it doesn't mean literally around the corner. It just means being closer than you think, being in the area. And yeah, I still feel like that holds true, but I feel like it's not time for you two to meet. Like it is not time at all for the two of you to meet. So just go about your day. Like that's how manifesting works, to be honest with you. It's like going about your day, doing your thing, and not worrying about when it's going to happen, just knowing it'll happen. Not worried about it. It's happening. It's mine. But it feels like actually in the area. I don't feel like the person has to move or anything else. And it's just a matter of timing being right. Is it weird that I would say like stop going to psychics, and I'm a psychic, and but I'm not telling you not to go, but sometimes you just have to let stuff happen. Like that's why when I do private readings, I tell people like, I don't want to read for you all the time. I've told people on here and they can validate if they want to or not. When they tried getting a reading too soon, I was like, it's not time. It's not time. I even told somebody, this one woman who she had a reading, then one in 3 months. And then she was like, well, so I'll have another one in 3 months. I was like, not unless you do this work that I'm telling you to do, because it's going to be the same exact reading. And it's a waste of your money and it's a waste of my time. Like I am real with people. A reading should leave you feeling empowered and connected and like, okay, like, I know someone's coming in, I don't have to worry about it now. Like, let's focus on me. Let's focus on building the best me and being the best version of me possible, so that when that person does come in, that I am the best version of myself, not so they'll like me, but so that I have healthy interactions, I have healthy reactions and perspectives, and so that I don't create problems that don't need to be there. And so that, it's that idea of mindset. If you're valuable, worthy, and confident in who you are, then when that person comes in, then your fear of abandonment issues don't pop up, creating, discord that doesn't need to be there, or your lack of self-worth. The universe gives you what you want. So if you're constantly like, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, they give you opportunity. They present opportunities in front of you to show you that, nope, you're not worth it. You're not good enough. Like, it just creates whatever the thought process is here, right? But we all know that you're valuable. So you have to change the lies and the programming in your head to know that too. Yes, they said it's not time yet. That's what they're like, it's just not the right time right now. And I don't necessarily feel like it's not the right time because of you. I feel like this other person is going through something and doing their thing and going through the process, and they're not ready to be in this committed relationship yet. Oh, okay, Patricia. You're welcome, Kay. Patricia. I actually get 6 months, but I don't think it's because you're fired or anything. It's like, it's either that it's like however you're employed, the employment changes. Like, so maybe you're hired to permanent, or you move within the company. Like, I know here there's advertising companies where there's like the big major company, and then there's a whole bunch of little companies under the umbrella. So maybe you move within the umbrella of the company. Or you change your title so it changes your job. But I don't feel like you're going to have no job after that, or that you're fired. Is the job in Vancouver? Oh, maybe that's what I'm getting, is the 6 month. Oh, wait. Oh. So wait, is the job where you're at right now, or is it in Vancouver? Gotcha. So the job is for 6 months in Ottawa. That's why, because I don't feel like you're getting fired. So it's like 6 months, and then you move to Vancouver. Done. So you can breathe now. I told you I saw you going there eventually. They said 12 to 18 months, but if you're leaving in 6 months, then you're only going to be there 6 months, right? I don't know why I'm doing like T-Rex arms right now. My shoulder's a little tight, so this actually does feel good, like stretching back this way, but okay. So you're good. It's weird because I was like, I don't want to say 6 months because that doesn't sound good, but I can't help but hear 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. It may be even that, I don't know if that job, and this is just one thing where you actually, same company, but living in Vancouver, working for the same company out of an office in Vancouver. All right, Karen and Rachna, you guys are up. Yes, the universe is definitely planning. Okay, you'll be good. Karen and Rachna, you guys can ask your questions, and then I guess we're done. Meh, are you Karen? Meh. It's just meh. Okay. So let me do a Rachna's real quick. So Rachna, your mom's recovery is very, 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 very slow. And I don't see her ever at 100%. And we keep asking this question. So I know you're nervous and you're worried and you want whatever, but I can't give you any more. I know you are. The doctors are doing everything that they can. This is one of those things that it literally just takes time. And that's the suckiest answer you could receive. And I'm really sorry for that, because I wish that I could say, like, this miracle is coming along and she's not going to be drowsy. It's like her body is exhausted and it's reworking neural pathways and like doing everything to try and work. And she's going to get tired more easily, because it's like all of her other parts that are functioning normally are working overtime to work for the parts that aren't functioning normally. Have they talked to you about moving her to like a rehab facility? I don't know what they have in India, if they have something like this where it's like kind of like a step down from the hospital, but it's not at home. So she would still get physical therapy, she would still get nursing care and things like that. Yeah, Candy, that's fine. You can. You just have to pay for the question. Physiotherapy. So my feeling is that in, like, I don't know if it's in 6 months from now or 6 months from when she originally had the stroke, that she would move to a rehab facility. So again, step down from a hospital where she's still, they have nurses there and physical therapy, and they can help her with feeding. I think she has tube feeds, and she may spend like a year there, because I feel like 18 months at being significant for change, but not significant like I'm totally healthy and I'm perfect, but like I can function easier at home or something like that. I do feel like it's really important that any vaccines that they're talking about giving her, so there's like a pneumonia vaccine that they give to older people, things like that, that it's important that she get those, because her immune system is not going to be up to snuff for fighting things. And the feeling I get is set up to have like pneumonia and things like that easily. So yeah, and I feel like she should get the COVID vaccine for sure. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm sure that they would be happy to recommend that too. My sense is though that she needs all the help she can get with her immune system. Oh, I'm looking forward to your reading too. All right, Miss Karen, I'll do yours, and then I'll check and see if Kanani paid. And if not, we're going to say goodnight. So it's just a slow process. And I wish I had a better answer for you that was like magical and I had a magic wand and she would be better super duper quick. I do feel like, and so maybe this will relieve some of your worry. I truly feel like she's in good hands. I truly feel like the doctor there, I keep seeing a male doctor, and I feel like he's maybe not the warmest individual. I feel like he's polite, but maybe not like the most reassuring individual, but I feel like he's really smart and he's doing a good job for her. So it's more so just you sort of letting go of the worry and letting you know that I haven't ever felt like I thought she was going to pass anytime soon. I felt like she would recover, and I'm pretty sure I said this, but not fully. and that it would be a long road. And unfortunately, during the long roads, sometimes there's like where you take 2 steps forward and then you take 3 steps back. And because you get things like bladder infections, or you get a little bit of like aspiration pneumonia, and they start changing up her care so she doesn't have that anymore. And it's not going to be a straight shot, but I do feel like her doctors are really taking good care of her. And I also feel like, and her nurses, because the doctors are, but I feel like they're knowledgeable enough to know what's going on. And it's just sort of like, it's not that they're doing anything wrong that these things happen. It's just that it's sort of a risk for somebody who's had a massive stroke to have aspiration pneumonia, or to have, set up for other infections, if they, bladder infections and things like that. She had a UTI. Yeah, I kept feeling that, like the UTI, she needs to watch that. So they, like for her UTIs, I don't think she has a Foley catheter. My sense is she's in a diaper, but it's just, making sure she gets changed frequently. She may actually, this sounds weird, but it may be the brand of diaper they're using that she is more sensitive to, and it might be better for her to use a different brand, or I don't know. They'd probably tell you I'm crazy for saying that, but that's the feeling I get. I do feel like my rump is a little sore, so watch her for bed sores. Make sure they're turning her and repositioning her frequently so she's not getting breakdown in her skin, because I feel like breakdown, I don't know if you can see it here, like kind of the back where is it the iliac process? I can't think of that. That's what you call that bone area. But I feel like she needs to be turned and repositioned more with pillows and things like that. And also, she doesn't have rolls in her hands. They're showing me this. Like, make sure she has the rolls in her hands for contractures, especially on her hands. So you can just take a washcloth and roll it up and put it in her hand. Even if she can't tell you this, she knows you're there, and she knows that you're taking good care of her, meaning fighting for her to get everything that she does. And she's trying to tell you not to worry, not to worry, not to worry. She's very, very proud of you. Stop worrying, stop worrying, stop worrying is sort of the feeling I get. She's not dead. It's just the feeling that she wishes she can't say that to you. So that's what they're telling me. Okay. All right. Her bed sores are healing. Okay. Okay. You're very, very, very welcome. All right. Let me just look at PayPal and see. I think one other person said they wanted to pay. And then if not, I am out of here. I haven't received a payment. So who was this other person? Hi, doll. Okay, I think that's it. So I don't think, is Connie paying, not paying? Guessing not. So I'm going to say goodnight. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Do your manifesting, because it's the Lionsgate 8/8, and it's a great time for manifesting. And I will see you guys next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Meh. Oh, wait, meh. I think I did yours. Oh, maybe I didn't. Ah, did I not? I didn't. I'll do yours right now, May. Sorry. You know why? Because I have you on here as Karen. Who's coming towards you in love? Gotcha. Okay, May, let's do this. Who's coming to me? Meh. I got you. Okay. So I see dark hair, and it's funny because I feel your heart chakra is finally like open and ready to receive, because it's just this feeling of like excitement and like really great vibration in my heart chakra. And I see him with dark hair, and I can't tell if he's tall or short, so I'm sorry about that. But it's this feeling of I don't know if he has an Italian or like, I think there might be an Italian and Greek background to him. Like his heritage might be Italian and Greek. And it's weird why I'm getting it that way. But I saw like octopus like suctions, like, or like, you know, not, I said octopus. Yeah, the way it looks on the bottom of an octopus, where it's like the suction cups are on the bottom of a starfish, but I felt octopus. And weirdly enough, I don't know why that translated into feeling like either like a Greek Italian mixture. And he may be his Chinese zodiac, maybe a dragon. Because he just showed me a dragon, and that's, I'll tell you the years on that. Oh, well, this year is the year of the dragon. So maybe it'll happen this year. And so I mean, you can look up the years for that, because I'm like, I honestly don't know how old you are, so I don't know where would fit, if 1940 would work for you. So it's like every 12 years, so 40, 52, but it's not all of it. So because the Chinese ones start in January, February, depending on the year, instead of like the late January, early February, depending on the year. So 64, 76, 88, 2000, 212, 224. Let's hope it's not 2012. That's pretty young. I don't feel like it's far out, so it might very well be this year, and that's why they're showing me the dragon. But I also feel like they're sort of like, we want to leave some element to surprise, because you're such a planner. You're such a planner, May. And I don't feel like meeting him is planned. So it doesn't feel like I meet him on a dating app or something like that. It feels very kismet kind of thing. Does this resonate at all? And I don't think you know him. It's the feeling of not knowing him. Does this resonate at all? I don't know. Are you here? All right. I'm going to go. I hope that was satisfactory. Oh, you really are a planner. Yeah. And so here's the thing. Sometimes when we're super duper planners and we're super uber, like, now I like, they won't be like, here's his name and here's this and here's that, because then you'll be like only wanting to go on a date with this person, or searching, and like it becomes like this exhausting, taking over your entire life. And there's things that you're supposed to be doing and learning and whatever. And it doesn't mean go do this, whatever, but it's like living your life and enjoying your life as it is as a single person. And then, you know, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing right now, is just living your life as a single person. And that he comes in. So I generally, because I saw the dragon, I didn't know that it was the year of the dragon this year. So, or is it? No, it's not the year of the dragon this year, because I said 2024, right? So maybe he's the year of the dragon, his birth year. I don't feel like it's that far out, because I feel like you're ready for it. So I feel like by the end of the year, you'll meet someone. So just go, enjoy, have fun. And I will see you guys next Sunday, the 15th at 4 p.m. Thank you, KK, for everything. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.